and your life. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this wonderful evening. It's another live session with the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0. And we have here with us a wonderful guest speaker, and also my co-host here, Olayiwola. We have Dr. Richard Olayiwola talking to us about the future of vegetable farming and how GrowVeg Challenge equips participants. So I will introduce my co-host, Dr. Please with the audience. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our live session tonight. My name is Adebisi Opeyemi, and I'm the Communication and PR Manager for Leverage Fresh Limited. We have here our speaker today who will be speaking on the future of vegetable farming and how GrowVeg Challenge will equip you as the participant. Dr. Richard, kindly introduce yourself, sir.
Thank you very much, Chinenye and Adebisi, for having me. Well, as mentioned, my name is Richard Olayiwola. I lead research and development and leverage seats, and also one of the instructors of this innovative program, the GrowVeg Challenge, where we look to show our people a good lead on vegetable production and also give some agronomic technical support to growers. I'm happy to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure to have you here join us for this wonderful live session. Um, we have questions for you, and we hope you are ready to answer them, sir.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's only
Thank you so much.
in discussion that we share knowledge. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So the first question I have for you, Doctor, is on how you envision the future of vegetable farming. So, how do you envision the future of vegetable farming in terms of innovation and technology adoption?
Well, and that's the power, or the fulcrum on which development and progress actually rest on. Now, the first part, innovation, and then of course the technology, all intertwined, both intertwined rather, because the idea is making it making farming generally interesting, and it's all about going down to understanding what makes what. First, from my constituency, where we manipulate genetics to meet the needs of man. So the first part is by way of technology to continue to develop improved genotypes that, of course, would meet the needs. So the first thing is things around developing resources to withstand all of the vagaries of weather as climate changes continue. So we need resilient genotypes. We need the individual vegetable types that would uh, perform, thrive. I mean, in the presence of drought, evolving pathogens as they evolve, bringing different strains. So that's what we need is to have sustainable yield. More importantly, is around creating the environment. Because I started from genetics because that's the potential. But you have potential if you don't have good environment, then you shouldn't get the result. So there's something about around what do we do with management, and this is something that will continue to be part of the discussion, that will continue to be subject matter as we continue to roll down the days and the years. So what do I look at? How do we then manipulate the environment as well? I mean, when you look at plants, eventually what we want to pick up our crops is yield, leaf vegetable, food vegetable. We want plants to the crops to respond to whatever we give, and this comes down to management. So when you look at it, we have the two sides of the very important equation. Of course, photosynthesis. That's what it's about. The most important phenomenon known to man. Photosynthesis. We've got the two sides, the left, the right. On the left, you have the input. Of course, we need CO2, water is available as well. Then we need light. On the right hand side is where we get our end product, starch, and of course, glucose that we want to actually be a harvest. All of our effort is to get a bountiful right hand side. So all of our innovation and technology is turning towards improving the left hand side. And what I see will be vegetable will most more go into control the environment, because that is where you really can do a lot of things with the left hand side in terms of how much of CO2 do you want to put in? As you put in CO2, how does this affect nutrient uptake? What's available? Because that is how you talk about the environment. So genetics, environment, management, the interplay of this using that word, three key components is what we look up to. How much more can we of course then create this environment for the better varieties that will be developed. And it has to do with comes an awareness, understanding the pathway that supports production, giving that platform to ensure sustainable growth. Because if we continue to develop better types, then we reduce how much also we want to cause pollution. So this, in all of this, it's something you have, and then we continue to look up to. So in summary, everything about the future, about what we want to do, like, about technology, will hover around how much more of the left hand side of that equation of photosynthesis that we can do. And of course, CO2 plays key part in there, and how this also affect nutrient uh, uptake. Getting all of this balance, of course, will give us the desired target that we need on the right hand side. And once right hand side continue to respond to the left, it only tells us that we can then generate adequate food, adequate resources to combat hunger in our world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. So the next question I have for you, we know how GrowVeg Challenge has been promoting how they will help both young and experienced or beginners to improve their skills, expand their knowledge in terms of vegetable farming. So what are these key skills that GrowVeg Challenge 2.0 is emphasizing that will help to prepare the participants for the future in terms of vegetable production?
Well, another very important question, and this lies right in the soul of the challenge. I mean, we had mentioned previously what actually spurred this program, this initiative, is to see how much we can develop ourselves and develop a number, have this multiplier effect on our people understanding how to do basic things in farming and the simpler one with them vegetable. So it is first showing understanding the basic. And this is just rubbing on what I mentioned earlier about, of course, the future. So the key thing that we are much after is about quality, having to do less, get more, and that's in terms of judicious allocation of resources, and then at the minimal cost, and then getting good profit. And there are key things here. First, about again, I go to the beginning. It's always from the beginning about your genetics. We emphasize to participants, to everyone, that it's important to first pick up quality seed. That is genetics. That's the basics. If there's no potential, there's nothing to respond to. So what we mentioned is, well, quality seed, and then there's guidance through all of that. The next thing, of course, is that enabling environment that is nested in good management. So what we emphasize a whole lot is getting the right genetics and timely um, application of everything necessary to ensure that the crop not only survive, but actually do well as much as possible. And this, of course, includes about nutrient application, when to apply, what to apply. If a particular solution is not available in a locality, what then can be used? And that thing we emphasize is, of course, is grow for your locality, because the cost of moving resources or input around, it's I mean, could be a whole lot. But if resources are sourced locally within your region, this of course can reduce a whole lot your cost of production. And this has to do with understanding what drives response in the crop, or whatever input you are putting in. So we try as much as possible to discuss chemistry, describe the active principle. So it's also about looking for that particular trade name. It doesn't have to be, if it's not available where you are, then you need to maybe stress yourself getting it elsewhere and all that. It's also what's available in there, and then we work around what's available. The other one is the importance of soil health, maintaining crop health, because we don't just want us to grow for now. We want to ensure that as we grow for today, we are still saving tomorrow. This is where sustainability comes in, and that is why we so much emphasize quality, because if you got quality seed, adaptable variety type for your area, then the problem is half solved. Then the next thing is just to build on different interventions that, of course, will ensure that whatever would be inimical to the crop in the various area. There are different potential around management, and of course environment to turn the situation in the favor of the vegetable plantation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. You shared so much insight with us, and I'm sure people who are just joining, you've not missed. You can always watch the recording, but you're all welcome. Thank you for your recognition. Thank you, Dr. Bidemi. Yes, he said valuable insights from Dr. Richard. Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome, Emmanuel. You're welcome, Victory. Good evening to you as well. Turayo, you're welcome as well. Good evening to you. Gochuku, you're also welcome. Then we have Victor here as well. You're welcome. Then we have Victoria. You're all welcome. Thank you for joining this wonderful live session, and I'm sure that you won't regret joining this. So, if you know that you're also yet to register, please visit the link as displayed on the screen and join the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0. Thank you so much again, Doctor. Now we know that for the GrowVeg Challenge, we've had a great turnout. You see young um, individuals going into vegetable farming, and then we've seen the same age group registering for the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0. So, Dr. Richard, what role do you see for young farmers in shaping the future of vegetable farming? And how do you think the GrowVeg Challenge will encourage their participation in the vegetable farming? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, once we talk about future, then it rubs a whole lot on the population, and of course, the section of the population that can actually speak so much to the future, of course, is amongst the young people. I mean, the younger you are, depending on race, I mean, means you have better potential to support or to contribute to the future. For this contribution to the meaning to be meaningful, that's why we have this initiative, GrowVeg. And it's just like the question pointed out, to encourage. And the first thing is to show um, our participants and everyone who listens that some of the things that we mentioned that we talked about are actually possible. First possible, and then when you see it's possible, you gain skills comes in as skill acquisition, but then of course and then be transmitted in really in production. So in terms of the number, of course, young people are more, so we need to see that the focus is on vegetable farming. And then what we do is to make this interesting. You know, like having imagine we're having online discussion and you're just talking about farming. I mean, we're not it's not any other thing, just farming. This is just to make everyone see that it's you don't have to be like say um you don't have to be in a rural area alone to talk about farming. I mean, you could be in the urban and understand what it takes to put things together. You can be in your urban area and have controlled environment, and because our young people are well educated, they understand the science. It's just to show them that this science you understand can actually be also put in here. So the thing here is making it interesting. Just even on social media, there's a lot of engagement. This example, I mean, drawing up conversation on production, and then showing different pictures, sharing different resource, online recordings, live chats like these, different platforms where people raise questions and answer. Because the young people, I mean, we're so active, asking questions, and once response is given to the queries or the curiosities of a young person, then it's most likely passion of course to even so young farmers in anything more than anything else play key role, and what we do is just to increase sensitization and then also draw the attention of the young ones to to the challenge.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sure the young people who are here with us, we encourage you to join the Proven Challenge. There's a lot in store for you. And the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0 is going to groom you more than where you found yourself. And I'm sure we have so many people who are eager to join the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0. So you're all welcome. Everyone is invited. Thank you so much, Dr. Bidding, Dr. Richard. So I'll be handing over to my co-host, Opeyemi. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Chineye. Thank you very much for your responses so far, sir. So, my first question is, how does the program, which is GrowVeg Challenge 2.0, how does it address the importance of soil health management in sustainable vegetable farming?
Yeah, thank you. Yes. When we're having discussion on future earlier, I'm also talking about innovation and technology. I touched a bit on the spot. It's just to then maybe expose further. Now, first, what we mean by sustainability. What does it have to do? I mean, why is it gaining traction in the agricultural space, and why is it, of course, important in vegetable farming? Yeah. Well, man would always need food. Man will need home. Man will need clothing, and the part we are dealing with now is a food aspect. So you want to provide food today in a better way, in a safer way, to ensure there's a tomorrow. That's sustainability. We are not reducing how much of food. Actually, we need more. The population 10 or 20 years ago, of course, much lower. And then in another 25 years, we are talking of course, the sustainable development goals. It's I mean, the internet is awash of how much growth we expect in the future. But we cannot continue to do things just the way we want. Otherwise, this future is not might not be safe, and that is why soil health management is of key importance to us. So the first thing that we tell everyone in the program, because everything, like I said, we show or talk about, we actually practicalize. We've got them recorded and then shared with participants so that we follow you through the journey. Most of the production in our space, in our climate, in our area, will still, of course, be on the earth crust, the part that supports growth. So that's like the growing medium, the most popular growing medium for us. So it is important to ensure that we look after the soil. So what we emphasize on is soil testing. It can't be too much. Soil testing. Every time, soil testing. So you cannot rely on the test of 2 years ago, even on the previous years. So everything you go in soil testing, because like I mentioned earlier, you've got the genetics, you've got the environment, you've got the management, all of this. Whatever you get, good performance on the crop, the soil has got a response. It's important to know the status of the soil before anything is done. And this actually even rubs back. You look after the soil, you also look after your own investment. Look after your own investment, because if the soil is not well protected, the soil is not looked after, if you don't cater for the soil, then resource putting might not, of course, give the required response. I mean, a case in point is you just feel okay. Everyone knows that there's something called fertilizer, and fertilizer, of course, will improve yield. Correct. But if your soil gets marginal, whatever amount of fertilizer you put to that soil, there will be no response. And actually, continuous use, excessive use, indiscriminate use of fertilizer can make a fertile soil marginal. That's that's it. Because you run from toxicity to runoff, then to leaching, and you tell yourself, I've been putting fertilizer. You've just been doing that blindly. So when you don't feel that soil health management is important, then it's a recipe for failure. So we emphasize soil testing, and then also and this will guide how much of nutrient you want to put in. This guides what's the pH, is it even right for the crop, uh, and then how much of intensity do you need to reduce. Also, do you need to now create a sequence? We've talked about you not putting same family crop of the same family on in there because you don't want to increase pest disease bank. You want to break that build up and actually continue to give a good medium to the crop. So for us, and then this also has to do with what then to apply. Even when of course you need to then apply interventions or amendment. How then do you do it? Okay, my soil is acidic. You don't just pour in lime fertilizer. Just, I mean, you need to ask yourself, by how many degree do I want to increase or to drive my pH to the right? And then this, because if you also then try to say, okay, I'm trying to increase my pH, and then liming is then applied indiscriminately, you also kill some fauna and some flora right there in the soil that are beneficial for the crop. So this is key. So we don't just want us to say, okay, we've gotten good yield now. It's how much can we then keep that soil for the future? So we have discussions around having a cropping sequence, like rotation, the soil testing, and how much of equipment that's available to you. I mean, to actually have some of these answers readily. Like I mentioned, we have a whole module on this, and then how test is done, where to do your test, what result is telling you, what to make out of what you have as your analysis. We have a full module on that. Everything we mentioned, of course, are practicalized and then shared with participants. So soil health, more than anything else, is of great importance in vegetable farming.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I believe the audience listening to us are getting valued for this soil management, how you can achieve this in sustainable agriculture, which is very important part of the agricultural sector. So my second question to you, sir, is: are there specific crops or farming methods that the GrowVeg Challenge focuses on for future market relevance?
Yes, this is yeah, because, well, one very important point is that we also try to emphasize, and I've not mentioned this earlier, is when I talked about putting less to get more, it's about that minimal cost of production, and that has to do with minimal cost of production to get a good profit, and this has to do with business decision. So what we then first talk about around is, I talk about a localized production. So the key thing that will first begin is smart thinking. That's the first thing, smart thinking, and that becomes, if you like, a farming method, because a smart thinking is you growing what, of course, sells in your area. So that's it. So in terms of what crop are we focused on? Can be any. Once that will gain traction, can get market, of course, in your area. That's why we have in our portfolio different realms. I mean, habanero. Talk about onions, and of course garlic, and then the I like to use the word almighty tomato, cucumber, watermelon, and all of this. But more importantly, it's about how we apply then these methods. So when I talk about smart thinking, is to know, of course, when to grow. I mean, you go to target, of course, a particular market. I mean, first thing, Agric 101 is what's the duration of my crop? What's the duration? And we okay, knowing the duration, oh, it's 4 months. So if I'm targeting the dry market, for example, for tomato, that means I need to make sure I have my my plots and everything ready in December to be able to be ready to hit the market sometimes in March, and then make over 500% sale from what you normally would get during on season. And this is the thing, having that chat. Okay, what is my route to market? What's the route to my production of meeting the market? Because it's not just about substance. It's producing to get the market to get return. This is how to tell people, well, it makes sense to actually grow anything, particularly vegetable. So the first method is being smart, and then the other one, of course, what I've mentioned around creating that very good environment and management skill. And this is what we show our people. First, from your decision on what to grow, how to grow, how to preserve, and then, of course, how then to get to the market. So everything we do around this. And then one thing that we would also begin to look at, because like I said, the future of vegetable farming, I see more in a controlled environment, and this is coming now even to our challenge too. Soon enough, we'll also get this introduced so that we really then train again the future growers how really then to specifically control environment in terms of how much of CO2 goes in, how do you then regulate humidity, and then do you work around temperature, all of these things that come out to play to then draw crop and response.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Ayobami. Thank you, Dr. Abidemi. He said he's getting value from Dr. Richard. And Idowu said, Dr. Richard doing what he knows how to do best. This is value at its best. Thanks for the insight, sir. Mosimilolo Ifeoluwa said, you don't have to be in rural areas to practice farming. You can also practice it in urban areas. Definitely. Farming is not limited to rural areas, and that's why we are introducing GrowVeg Challenge to you. You can always practice and practice wherever you are, even with limited resources that you have. Utilizing your spaces like rooftops, even your little gardens at your backyard farming at home. So if you are here to register for GrowVeg Challenge 2.0, kindly use this opportunity to register before the closing period for the 2.0. Thank you all for joining us. If you have any question, kindly drop it in the comment section. So my last question to you, sir, is what advice would you give to participants who are just starting their journey in vegetable farming to ensure long-term success?
Well, the first thing is you see, dedication. That's the first thing. And dedication drives, of course, commitment, and all of these, both the two elements can then drive passion. Because yeah, I mean, you just wake up at times and be like, oh, what is plant looking like? You know, you don't want to give up. You want to keep moving. You want to drive your interest, knowing that you'll be there. So I've been doing this most of my life, and then what I tell people who are new to this journey is to just hang on and believe, and of course ask questions. I mean, we are almost already available to answer questions, and then because we are practical people, we don't just talk around theories. We can show that this is what to do. So the other part will be trust, because whatever we share is of course what we have tested. Things we are not sure won't work, we won't discuss. So it's just to ask questions, just stay focused, and then learn as much as possible. That's it. Then there's a whole lot to pick. There's a whole lot, and the other part is no question will be seen as unserious, or what is this? I mean, no question is stupid. Every question is good. So that's the thing. And then farming, like any other business, also requires you to just stay focused. Stay focused. So that's a key thing. Dedication, commitment, drive your passion, and then enjoy it. Enjoy it, and of course then to tell others about it. You know, tell others about it, because I mean, the more say we say the merrier, and then we can share knowledge, and then of course pass it on. And the next thing will be then you becoming ambassadors yourself, of course, of trying to drive the whole thing. Because like I mentioned earlier, the power behind the initiative is to increase food production, and of course, by having more actors in the space, then of course you get more. I mean, with good management and practice, innovation and technology, you cannot compare when 10 people grow vegetable to when you have 30 people doing it. But without good management, we could even have 100 people doing it, and then you can't get any significant improvement or enhancement in terms of yield. So that's the thing. Learn as much as you can, stay dedicated, ask questions, trust trust us, and then just keep moving. Those are my words on Marvel for the new participants and for those who are still thinking about should I be a part or not. If you're still thinking, just take that leap, just jump in. Oh, okay, let me even follow this people. Yeah, let's see what they're about. Because the thing is, whatever input you put into farming, and if you get it right, and with us, of course, you get it right, you are sure of breaking even, of course, getting that profit. So those are my few words um, of encouragement.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. And I believe those people that have registered are already lucky to have a connection, to have networking opportunities with our instructors like you. And those people that are still hesitating to join, or they are still thinking about joining, you have the opportunity to we have the opportunity to for your hand to be held together and to lead you through the vegetable farming journey. And also, we encourage you that when you register, you are joining a network of communities of farmers that you can always have access to them and ask valuable questions, and you always get support and answers to it. Thank you very much for your time, sir. So we have one question from Bui here. He said he live in South Africa and his concern is doing urban farming, and for soil test there is no lab he knows of to do soil testing. He has asked many times to be tested by Department of Agriculture, and it's been a year. They are not helping people who live in the town to improve his soil. I believe he's asking that what can he do in such situation. He said he has used chicken manure, probably it's not working, and that's why he's seeking for advice.
Well, um, I find it strange still. I mean, um, or getting ready to test. Well, if we can hear me, the chicken manure will be good because it's organic, and then it has other apart from giving nutrient, it also help your soil to, I mean, increase the bulk density, help the soil to be compact, and of course create that avenue for plants to do well. Where soil test becomes almost impossible, well, the thing is just to do the best you can do physically. Well, chicken manure is organic, but degradable, so that is not likely to cause the toxicity thing we talked about because it's not synthetic. So the next thing would then be, what are you growing? What can you grow? Just uh, depending on what you have in your area, what can you grow? What then can you supply? If it's just all around soil health, and then because what the test tells you is how much of nutrient you want to put in anyway, you know. And if this is not known, the next thing is just to apply as you go. But if I see chicken manure, what I can say from here, because the picture is not very clear, is to ensure that is worked into your soil long enough, because it was the key difference between the manure and the synthetic fertilizer is in terms of release. Of course, organic ones are slow releasing, takes time, of course, to mineralize, while the inorganic are just right on the go. So you can still maintain soil earth life by working in your manure early enough, and this will ensure that the current crop that you target would actually benefit from what you are putting in there. You know. And but the other simple thing part is okay, if then no soil lab is available, which I'll still like to do a follow up on that. It's then to get simple gadgets. I mean, I know some of this can be should be available in open market. For example, you could have like a pH meter, even depending on how you want to go. You can even have a soil moisture tester. You know, if all of these, if those are available, that can give an idea, because of course you can understand the level of nutrient in non-acidic soil, for example. You know, if what's your pH like, you know. And then if you have like a soil sensors that can also inform about soil temperature, because then some basic things can still then go on. Then depending on how much of how do you then of course introduce water to that kind of soil. Of course, are you able to put up your irrigation? I mean, these are things, because you just have to then do things just on the go, and then just see how much you can just but it's difficult not being able to know the status of the soil. So you just have to run it on the go and do the minimum, you know, that of course can then be done. Because talking about maybe sending soil abroad, that's, I mean, I talked about localizing, I mean, things around you. So it's but the other thing that can be done, of course, whereby all of this is not possible, is also to improve on cultural practice, and that would be, of course, having cropping sequence. You don't want to bring in too heavy feeders, you know, in a sequence. And then apart from that, in that kind of, so you can actually make it strip, so that if you have a vegetable, have a strip line, if you have a vegetable particular year, you can then change to a legume that, of course, would you are sure of that helping to replenish nitrogen, and that, of course, once soil fertility is enhanced, that's also about of course soil health. If you are able to also have a very good sequence, so that crops of same families are not following the sequence, you are certainly sure that of course you are also breaking the disease bank. Cultural practice becomes what you want to look at. Good sanitation, of course, on the field, and watching out for you know for diseases, and quickly taking out what cannot be done, and then good application and timely application of of, um, of pesticide would also be of importance. So if meters are available, each meter just pick up, and then of course also if you cannot get, then if it becomes difficult, you cannot get any lab as I mentioned, just also see if you can get a soil kit. I mean, there's manual, around, and then we can even have a discussion at the back end on how to use soil kit to get some of these things done. I mean, yourself. It's just very much important to know what the status of the soil is. Where this becomes very impossible, then cultural practice becomes the way. I mean, it's just to ensure that there's sustainability, and then you are certain that whatever you do in terms of input, because your effort to is input in itself. In itself, does not just go down the drain. So pH meter, soil sensors, soil kit, I mean test kit, if those are handy, please use that. Otherwise, it's just to improve on your cultural practice.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And I believe these tips will help him to find the right the right thing or the right method to use for the soil testing, even though he's not getting where to test it officially. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing that with him. And I believe it has answered this question. And no more question from our audience. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And thank you very much, sir, for your time. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And we hope to see you in our next live session, which comes up on Thursday by 7 p.m. Thank you all for joining. And this comes to
Thank
the
you.
end of the session. Yeah. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.